Greetings, peace and blessings. Happy Thursday. Today is the day that Jupiter rules. We are in the we're in a Jupiter day, and Jupiter is currently at the 14th degree of Pisces. We just had a new moon in Pisces. Jupiter's in Pisces. Neptune is in Pisces. The moon has been conjunct Neptune today already. And so, what an incredible time. What an incredible time we're all in. So, the thing that I am that I've been thinking about a lot today with this Pisces energy is what it means to be a human being when the ages are shifting, because we're moving through an age shift. Oh, I hope you guys like my filter. I love it so much. It's very Piscean to me. It's very like fantasy, all that sort of stuff. So that's what it is. But the Pisces energy, thank you, Panacea. I don't know. I have to look at that to see how it's said. But the age of Pisces, as it ends, it's the ending of this age where we sort of moved in this very collective way, right? Christianity, Islam, all of these are like collective institutions that determined how we value and saw ourselves because of our connection to the collective. But now as we're moving into the age of Aquarius, this energy is about our individuality. It is about the rebellious spirit. This is about being really true and authentic to ourselves. And what does, oh, that's so nice. That's how you normally, that's how I receive my aura too. But what does it mean to be living through a time where we are moving through an age shift? And the way I experience it is it's like we're literally under the influence of the energy. We're under the influence of the energy because we're like fish to water. So when the energy shifts, we can't even see it. But the invisible realm, the invisible realities have already moved into the age of Aquarius. And now it's beginning to catch on with us. And so those of us who are receptive and open, those of us who are willing to begin to reprogram our minds, begin to think in a new way, begin to see the world in a different way, begin to perceive ourselves in a unique way. That's the first most important thing. Those of us who are willing to perceive ourselves in a new way will be those who can catch the energy, the frequency, the vibration of the new reality that's coming in. There are ways that we have lived in the past that are just outdated, right? So one of the things that I remember when I was growing up, we just believed that children didn't know anything. We just believed that children were, this word stupid is not really what I'm trying to say, but we thought that children had nothing to offer except that they needed us to take care of them. And now we're beginning to see that children come with a wealth of wisdom and knowledge and information. And if we are willing to cultivate that inside of them and our relationship to them from that perspective, what they will offer us will be medicine and healing and information for us to live into the future in a new way, right? These are the kinds of ideas that are going to become outdated in the age of Pisces that will be reign supreme for the age of for the age of Aquarius. And those of us who are willing to take on these new practices, like we hear it already happening with people who are taking on pronouns, he and she and her, and they're people who are like, that's the stupidest thing ever. Why would people do that? But it's because they're beginning to relate to the energy in a new way. They're beginning to realize that the gendered body that they're in is not the totality of who they are. They're not just a woman. They have access to masculine energy and feminine. We all do. But we just have been cultivated in the age of Pisces to think that this is a man is this and a woman is this because of this collective agreement thing that the age of Pisces was anchored in. But the age of Aquarius is not that at all. The age of Aquarius is all about your individuality. So you get to name it and say it and claim it and be it the way you do. So to conform for the age of Aquarius is to be behind is to be out of step with the new rhythm, to be out of alignment with the new energy. So what does it mean to be living through an age shift? What does it mean for you personally? And you get to determine what that is. Your astrology is your natal chart. I really encourage people to study their natal charts. Go study your natal chart. Yes, you can come and book a reading with me. I would love to do that. That's fun. But really what you get from me is going to just be a jump start. Really, you should just sit with your natal chart and look at it and then study the houses and what they mean, and then study what planets are in those houses, and then study what signs so that you can see how your energy functions. Because this is going to help you move out of the age of Pisces and into the age of Aquarius. Because in the age of Pisces, you were likely in some more collective way of thinking, right? I need to do this to make these people happy. My parents want this. I need to go to college. This is woman, I shouldn't. Like all that was going on for the age of Pisces, but that stuff is done with for the age of Aquarius. So you have to understand your own energy. So I have been studying my chart for a decade now. And what I have learned about myself is fucking mind-blowing. Like literally. And I've talked about some of this stuff before, but because I have my North Node in Aries in the first house. Most of my life was always about relationship, and I just wanted so badly to be married, and I wanted to have a big white dress and a wedding and hundreds of people there and flowers and all of that sort of stuff. And I just, because my South Node was in Libra, I'm sorry, my cats are up to something. Hold on a second. What are y'all doing? I bought them this thing, and now it just becomes a distraction. Like they drag it all over the house like it's a baby doll. It's like, what are y'all doing? So when I started studying my astrology, I started to realize like, oh, this behavior and this pattern is outdated. Like I'm not here to be focused on external relationships this lifetime. I'm here to be focused on building a new identity and getting true to who I am, because Aries is about my own identity. And I had an auntie when I was young who used to say I was selfish, and it offended me so much that I tried to prove to her that I wasn't selfish by focusing on other people. And that was exactly the opposite of what I need to be doing. I needed to be focusing on myself. And so when you start to study your astrology, it will be a game changer, because you start to see, you start to see that how you have been functioning was more aligned to your conditioning and what your parents and the culture and your community says is acceptable. And then you start studying your astrology and you realize that the very things that you have been being and doing are really not even true to who you are. You've just been doing it because other people were doing it and other people said you should, or because it's your South Node or something of that nature. So it's very important to begin to study your natal chart as we're moving from the age of Pisces and into the age of Aquarius. The age of Pisces is about endings and where things come to complete. And so while we are in this, the thing that I love about the universe, I love the universe so much, because when you start to do this work, realities start to open up to you that didn't exist before. One of the things that I'm beginning to experience, and I have been for the last couple of years, is I have a new profound relationship with money. I just surf energy, right? I never really count money. I set an intention for what it is that I desire. Then the universe brings that to me in really interesting ways. Like, I'm starting to experience abundance in a way that's just about energy and not about amounts of money. And I had to make agreements. I was like, okay, I'm not going to, as a business owner, I'm going to keep my rates available to people who might have a lot of money or people who have less money, because I remember when I couldn't access stuff. Like I don't want to make my work be about money. I want to make my work be about the magic and the connection to source energy and the connections to the universe. So I had to really get clear about what money was so that I understood that it's about energy, right? And so now as I'm moving out of my old way of being with money, because in the past I would just be worried and stressed and contracted and, how am I going to get, but now I realize, it's all energy, and I just surf the energy. So when I can feel the contractions when they come, and when the contractions come, I just move into the contraction, and then when the expansions come, I move into the expansion. But I literally surf the energy, and what that means is that, when Spirit tells me to do something. So a while ago, Spirit said for me to get rid of my car because I was paying, a car note, insurance, gas, all that sort of stuff, parking, about $600 a month. And Spirit said, get rid of your car. So I got rid of my car and I started using Uber everywhere I go. And then, so I did that for a couple of years. And then Spirit said, now start using Black Uber. So everywhere I go, I take a Black Uber. Everywhere I go, unless I just don't feel like waiting for it, right? But it's about my energy and my ability to expand and to trust the direction that Spirit is giving me and to follow the energy. And so when the energy needs to expand, it's like, how will it expand? So it's like, okay, step up in some way, expand yourself in some way, and don't think about the dollars and cents of it. Don't be in this very logical way. Move into your feminine energy and see yourself expanded. See the vision. Jupiter is about your vision. Jupiter in Pisces is about your imagination coming to life. So I just give thanks that I get to go everywhere I desire to go. I'm being driven in a way that's comfortable to me. I'm being driven in a way where I feel safe and secure. I bring my son with me, and we're treated really well. And I see this, I imagine it, because that is the energy of Pisces, but it's true to my imprint. It's true to my energy, which is about Aquarius, right? So this is how we begin to alchemize these old energies, alchemizing the old patterns. It's like, so I used to use that energy to worry and to fear and, oh my goodness, and what am I going to do? And how's this going to work out? But now I use it to see the new reality in my mind, in my imagination. What is it that I'm seeing? And then I just take the step. I take the step out. And I know that my needs are going to be met everywhere I go. And I do the rituals. I do the work. That's why I keep saying, you guys, come do the moon work with me, because you have to practice this consistently. You cannot just take a little bit here, because what happens is when you first start, everybody has beginner's luck. That's what the universe does. The universe is like, we're going to give you a little bit of beginner's luck so you feel good about it. So like when you first come in and you start doing the work, you have beginner's luck and everything you want comes. But then the universe is like, okay, now they've experienced the magic, but now you have to go through a deconstruction. You have to take apart the ways you have been functioning and begin to rebuild a new way, because you have to deconstruct the mind. You have to transform your mind. So you have to deconstruct the mind that is aligned to your old patterns and old ways of being. Western, the power is out there. Somebody's doing it. Somebody, you know what I mean? Or like I have to, like I know it's black people. We got to work harder than everybody else to get what we want. Those are belief systems and ideas. I'm not saying that they weren't rooted in actual experience, but those are still belief systems and ideas. So to deconstruct them, things come to me effortlessly, easily. I don't have to work hard for anything. Things fall into my lap. I have to let go of those old patterns, and I have to practice this new way of being on a daily basis. You can't just know it and then it's there. You have to practice it. You have to construct a new reality. And then as you construct a new reality, it begins to blossom. And so that's why the work is about your consistency. It's about your consistency. And then when you have built the structures through consistency and practice and trusting yourself and having the faith, all Jupiter. Jupiter is practice, practicing joy, practicing love, expanding, creating the structures. That's Saturn. But you got to put the structures in there to get the expansion to happen. And then Jupiter is seeing it. It's the faith. It's the inspiration, like practicing it every day until it's there. And then it comes into the reality. And as it comes into the reality, the universe is just there tracking with you. And it becomes something that is so easy. Like magic is fucking every day. Like these, and when you can understand the energy and the frequency, literally then you can call in a frequency just the way you would go try on a new, like if you were at a store and you would say, okay, I'm going to try on these pants. You can call in a new frequency the way you would try on a new size pair of pants or another pair of shoes. You can just call in that frequency. Okay, I want to experience ecstasy today. What would that feel like? What does that look like? What does that smell like? What does that taste like? And then the universe, because you're a clear channel and you're not holding on to old stuff, you are an open vessel, then you can say, what does love feel like this in this shade? What does sadness feel like in this shade? What does fear feel like in this shade? What does joy feel like in this shade? Like you get to really understand that you are the creator of your life and you get to experience it in a powerful way. So, with that, today is a Jupiter day. Jupiter's at the 14th degree of Pisces. Jupiter in Pisces is your dream, the dreams, the heavens opening up through your subconscious and really recognizing that you are the source of your reality. That's the thing that is important to know, that you are the source. I don't know. When I was young, I came in with this. Like as a child, I really understood. When they would tell me stories about Jesus Christ, I always was like, that's me. That's all I knew. That's me. And I knew that everything was a projection, a story for me. I always loved mythology. I always related to the stories of the gods and the goddesses. I always felt like that was me. And the more we recognize that everything in our reality is our own creation through our subconscious, the more we can experience the bounty of what this earthly presence can offer us. It's very important to realize that your mind is aligned to the universe. And if your mind will create any reality that you want it to, that you allow it to, that you focus on. And the longer you can hold the picture, then that reality has to come out to the external experience. But it requires consistency. It requires devotion. It requires creating systems inside of yourself. One of the things, I've been watching this Kanye documentary, and here's the thing that we can say about him. He has believed in himself more than anybody ever believed in him, with the exception of his mother, probably, right? And you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in what you are doing. You cannot be wiggly. You cannot have drunk legs on your beliefs in who you are. You cannot feel like what I want is too much, or people are going to think I'm too arrogant, or, that's too, if you have any of that shit going on, you crumble. You really have to fucking believe it. The way we see Kanye believing it. You have to believe. I don't care what it is. You have to just believe it. I remember when I was in my 20s, a friend of mine was friends with John Singleton before Boys in the Hood came out, because I'm from Los Angeles. And a friend of mine was friends with John Singleton. And he would talk about John before Boys in the Hood came out. And he says, all he ever does is talk about being a filmmaker. That's all he does. All he talks about is this film. And then Boys in the Hood came out, and it was a hit. And my friend was like, oh my God, it's out. And all he ever did was talk about this film, and now it's out. Like, you have to be devoted to yourself and what you're doing. What you're doing, what the Creator is doing through you. This is why spiritual practice is so important, because, when you get devoted to what's coming through you and devoted to what the Creator is doing through you, one of the things that I realized, because I've always had a lot of luck passing tests. Like, I've always been able to go in and take tests and pass them. I can go sit down and take a firefighter's exam and pass it. I can go sit down and I'll just pass exams. And then one day I realized, I literally said, who's doing this? It's not me. It's not me who's passing these tests. There's something functioning through me and that is when I realized that God was smart through me. But it wasn't me, because I don't fucking know the answers. But when I sit down to take a test, the answers just come out right. But I don't know what. It's like, who's doing this, right? So when you get to that in your side of yourself, where you're like, somebody is doing this. Somebody who, right? Like, who's here doing this? Then you realize your connection to the divine and cultivating that. And it all becomes fun and joyful, and just really being open to the possibilities of what your gifts are, what your talents are, and you devote yourself to it and you cultivate it, and then it becomes something that everyone gets to benefit from. Then everyone gets to benefit from it. So when I started to realize, oh, I'm not really smart. Something is smart through me. And then I just started realizing I love information. And then I just got it. I got that every information is just available to me, because there is a source, there's an energy that loves to bring information through me. And so I just play with it and dance with it and say yes, and then I can do these readings, and I'm intuitive, and I can look at people's charts and tell them things. But it's not me. It's not me. It's not me. It just looks like it's me, but it's not me. I promise you, it's not me. It's not. And so with that, we can all access this eternal channel, this eternal energetic frequency that comes through us, and then we all get to experience our own greatness and the greatness of others, our own brilliance and the brilliance of others. And so, yes, so open up to the possibilities of your imagination, of the imagination that is coming through you, of the energy of the divine energy that is coming through you. Open up to it and see what it offers you. See what kind of gifts it offers you, and be surprised. Be in awe of what sources through you, and then see how you can Bring it into reality so other people can benefit from it. And this is Jupiter in Pisces. This is Jupiter in Pisces. This new moon in Pisces. Got to let go of a lot of stuff first, though. All right. Peace and blessings, everyone. I love y'all. Let me see. It's so thrilling. Let me see if I can... Are there any things? Thank you, Madre Lunita. When you say shade, you mean like a hue or different experiences with this person, etc. Oh, I don't remember what I said, Sheena. I'm sorry. I can't wait to get your name. Okay, cool. Constructing a new reality takes work, practice, and that month. Yes. Okay, I think that's it. All right, you all. Peace and blessings. Have a really beautiful day today. And thank you for everyone who came over to the ritual last night. We had an incredible time. And next month, we're going to begin to do it in person and virtually. So we will have a more expanded experience. Okay, peace and blessings, everyone. Bye-bye.